for any positive integer n, we choose partition of AB such that delta alpha is equal to delta alpha is equal to alpha b minus alpha a dividing n for all n. So we can have to choose the lengths alpha b minus alpha a by n, such types of length for the images, the difference of the images of alpha I at the ith interval. Okay. See the next slide. This is possible since alpha is continuous on AB. Why this types of inequation is possible? See here, earlier slide. See here, alpha b minus alpha a is by n. This is true for all possible I. This is possible because of alpha is a continuous function. Next slide. Now we can suppose that f is a monotonically increasing on AB. Then capital Mi is your f xi and small mi is equal to f of xi minus 1. So UPF alpha minus LPF alpha, it is equal to summation I running 1 to n mi minus mi into delta alpha, it gives us this one, summation I running 1 to n f of xi minus f of xi minus 1 multiplying delta alpha. Next. But we know that delta alpha is less than delta alpha b minus delta alpha a by n. So we can have to say it is less than or equal to n for each term. So we can have to taking this is one of the constant term in the sense of I. So we can have to taking outside, and so we can have to say it is summation multiplying summation I running 1 to n f of xi minus f of xi minus 1. It is less than or equal to, now we can have to running I running 1 to n, then this difference, this summation is always fb minus fa, and so this product is less than epsilon, because if we can choose, n is arbitrarily large because of epsilon greater than 0 be given, and alpha b minus alpha a and fb minus fa both are positive, non-negative, and so we can always choose such large enough positive integer n such that their product is less than n epsilon, and so this is satisfied, and hence we can say that it is UPF alpha minus LPF alpha is less than epsilon, and so by equivalent condition f is Riemann still just integrable on AB. Now next, by these two necessary conditions we can have to summing up. If we can considering bounded and continuous function f can be integrated with respect to any monotonic function, that is here we first proved. And second, we can have to say, if you have given that bounded and monotonic function f can be integrated with respect to any monotonic increasing and continuous function. So in the second case, function is bounded and moreover monotonic, then it is integrable with respect to any monotonic increasing functions, moreover it is continuous functions. Now the next slide, I have to prove the one theorem. If f is bounded on AB, f has only finitely many points of discontinuity. Function has finitely many points of discontinuity on AB, and alpha is monotonically increasing function on AB and is continuous at every point at which f is discontinuous in AB. At where f is discontinuous, there where the function alpha is continuous, that is here we have given. Then we are interested to prove that f is Riemann still just integrable function on AB. See the proof in the slide. So I think that proof is so long, so I cannot describe here because of the time limit, so I can skip here it is. Next time we can prove it is. See the next theorem is also of this type. Suppose f is Riemann still just integrable function on AB, and because of it is bounded, we can have to see that its boundary, lower boundary is m and capital M is the upper boundary, we can considering phi is a continuous function on closed interval mm, and hx we can have to consider h function is a one of the function which is the composition of phi and f on AB, where m is the, then we can have to say that h is a Riemann-Stieltjes integrable function on AB. I think the proof is again so long, so we can have to see that is in the next lecture if it is possible. But I can see some of the properties of the Riemann-Stieltjes integrable functions. I can write down that is in board. So if f1, f2 be two Riemann-Stieltjes integrable function on AB, and C is one of the real number, and A less than D less than B less than or equal to B, then we can have to see that the sum of two Riemann-Stieltjes integrable function is again a Riemann-Stieltjes integrable functions. So first of all we can have to see that is the property of the algebraic property of the Riemann-Stieltjes integrable functions, and moreover the integral of this sum of these two functions over alpha is nothing but equal to a to b f1 d alpha plus a to b f2 d alpha, and its integral is nothing but equal to the integral of f1 with respect to alpha plus integral of f2 with respect to alpha. Similar way we can have to say that C multiplying f1, constant is multiplied with f1, such types of function is defined at pointwise this way, C of f of x. So we can have to say that that is also Riemann-Stieltjes integrable functions. So by means of this one, this we can have to say that Rx is a vector space. That is, we can always say, because of we are interested to prove some of the properties, we can say that Rx may be vector space under this binary, this linear operations over R. And what is we can have to say that integral a to b C of f1 d alpha, it is equal to C a to b f1 d alpha. So I think these are the two properties, but we can have to see more properties, but the time is not we have, so we can discuss that is in the next time. Okay, please see the